Julius finally did his first interview. I haven't really seen Julius do any interviews, and I think the main reason behind that is because I've heard several people say they've reached out to him trying to do interviews, and he was wanting quite a bit of money, so he turned down all the interviews, and he finally did do an interview on the Gold Standard podcast with two-time Olympic gold winner Angel McCoughtry, and I hope I'm not butchering her name. She did a great job interviewing Julius. She asked some good questions. So let's go ahead and get into the tea. First, she asked Julius if he's still with Alexis. And he said that him and Alexis are on and off. He said that they're currently not seeing eye to eye. And I'm very curious when this podcast was filmed because he posted claiming he was single a few weeks ago. I'm just a little confused by the whole thing because Alexis just posted on her TikTok yesterday a video montage with Julius saying healthy relationships are built, the one who always has my back. And she was just talking about how in love she is with Julius and defending him in the comments, which is crazy because we still have yet to see Julius post a single post of her. And he was asked about when he asked Alexis to work more hours, and he said he told Alexis his dreams and aspirations before he got out, and she knew that he was going to focus on rapping for a while because he feels like he's young, and if he doesn't focus on it now, that it might slip away from him. So he needs to put all his energy into it now to try to make this take off. He was asked if he's making a living off rapping right now, and he said it's not enough to pay his bills, but he definitely gets a little money off of it. So it's kind of giving more of a hobby versus a job. Like, I highly doubt he's even making back the money that he's invested into this because he has to spend a lot on studio time for music videos. Like, he rented out like a full-on limo and rented a motorcycle for his last music video. But he said that he wants to also focus on making money off social media. He claims that right now that's how he sees himself, as making fast money, and he wants to try to become a streamer, which he kind of already has started streaming on Twitch. I don't know if he's been doing that consistently every day, but I do know he was promoting like a Twitch page at the beginning of him being on TV, and I do think that could be lucrative for him, but he definitely is going to have things to like talk about, like doing TikToks and just going on and battling people and begging for people to send you gifts. I don't think that's lucrative, and that's not going to last long term for him, especially when we've seen how many times TikTok has already been shut down in the past. Yeah, the shutdowns may have not lasted long, like a little under 24 hours each time, but just goes to show that TikTok is not guaranteed to be here forever. So if he's going to try to go after the social media bag, then I definitely think he does not need to keep his eggs all in one basket. And he also said that he didn't want to feel pressured to have to work or do anything because even after he came home from prison, he said he was still paying Alexis $300 to $400 a month for rent. I'm still confused on the amount he was giving her too, because he said in this interview $300, but then he said in another live he did that he was giving her $1,000 a month, and then he said in this interview, oh no, I was giving her $300 a month and I was spending about $30 a day on food for the both of us and putting gas in her car so she never had to pay for gas anywhere. Then he said that he would give Alexis his portion of rent for the month, but then she would turn around and get mad over something petty, and then she would threaten to kick him out. And he's like, no, that is not how it works. I'm not going to give you part of the rent and then you're going to turn around and kick me out. But I mean, the one time I did see her trying to kick him out, it's because she was claiming she caught him talking to another girl, and I think that is warranted for a reason to potentially get kicked out. I mean, what do you expect, to sleep next to me after you're sitting here trying to talk to other women? Hell to the no. And Julia said that when he met Alexis, she was in a really dark place, and he took ownership over helping her get out of that dark place. He said that he was the one who encouraged her to go back to school. He said at the time when he started talking to her, she had been to school, but she had quit going, so he encouraged her to go back. Then he was asked about the video girls, and he put on his daughter that he didn't know who either one of those girls were. And I even said that in my video. The way they were making faces in the parking lot when Julius was confronted by Alexis for being with them, those girls were just making like the most awkward faces, like they didn't know what to do and they were just feeling so out of place. It's kind of like, you know, when you have an actor and you go back and watch like one of the first shows or movies they do, you can see the huge dramatic difference, how they may not be as good of an actor, they may not always know what to do with their hand expressions and their body, and then you could just tell that with these girls. Like, these girls did not look natural to be there. They did not look like they had any idea who Julius was. And Julius said he didn't know. He said that pretty much the production told him that these girls were going to be showing up. And one of the video girls did an interview with Lord Lucan, and she spoke out and she said, yeah, so pretty much me and my friend are both models. And one of the producers reached out to us on Instagram and said, hey, we'll pay you to be on this show. And they really had no idea what they were getting into. And they ended up showing up, and they were at the studio and did some scenes at the studio. And then I guess one of the girls ended up kind of having a connection with Julius's friend that was there with the braids. And so they started talking. And Julius said he wasn't trying to talk to the other girl. He was just trying to kind of be nice and let his homie hang out with this girl and get the opportunity to be around her. So he's like, okay, you guys can keep hanging out with us and you can get to know her better in my back seat, or I guess Alexis's back seat. And he let them tag along with them to go to the clothing store. Which that explains why Julius was acting the way he was when Alexis was confronting him about being with these girls, because he really didn't know what to say, and he's probably thinking, well, what do I say? Because I don't even know these freaking girls. Like, I feel like they should have rehearsed those scenes a few times. I feel like they probably did the scene in one take and was like, okay, that's it, let's upload that. But I feel like they could have made that scene a lot more better and natural flowing, because a lot of people were suspecting that scene wasn't legit from the jump. But anyways, Julius said that he doesn't need to sit there and freeload off anyone, and he was sitting in a car during this interview. So he was asked if that was Alexis's car, and he said no, this is a car that he just recently purchased. He bought it all cash. It's a 2014, so it's not like he's going crazy above his means, but he still got him a nice little vehicle, which is good. And I'm smart that he didn't try to get like the newest car on the lot and like get something that is out of his budget. At least he was smart about it. And then he was asked about Ashley and if he ever slept with Ashley, and he swears up and down he never slept with Ashley. He only talked to her because he wanted a parole address, because he couldn't parole to Alexis's address. And he was asked, well, why not? And he kind of just glossed over that question. He just reiterated that he couldn't use her address, even though he was asked to specify why. He wouldn't go into no specifics and just try to go on with the interview. And he did say he encouraged Alexis to get her own place. So I'm almost wondering, like, was she living with a felon or somebody that had some type of record? And maybe that's why they originally wouldn't let Julius parole with Alexis. And maybe that's why she went and got her own place. And maybe that's why he encouraged her to get her own place, because he didn't want to go live with Ashley and her kids. I'm trying to think about what else did I miss. He did say that he wants to get some of his face tattoos removed. He regretted a few of his face tattoos. He didn't specify which ones. He also said that he wants to try to start making more money off his music career. And this girl, she was a professional basketball player, and she was encouraging him to go and try to sell some of his music to Love After Lockup to feature in an episode. And he's like, I tried that, and they did feature one of my songs in an episode, but they made him sign this paperwork to agree that all profits made from that song and episode was to go into WeTV's pocket, and they weren't going to pay him any extra on top of what he was going to typically make from that episode. More than anything, it was just going to be free promo for him. And this girl was like, no, you should have went to them and said, I'll sell you this song for $100,000. And I'm like, okay, Love After Lockup is not about to be giving nobody $100,000 for a song, especially the type of music that Julius makes. I mean, I could see him maybe doing a reality show and maybe like having a song in the feature, but like, I don't see him like getting actually paid from producers to have their song featured, because if anything, they'll come and approach you if they really want your song. But I get it though. She's trying to help him out and stuff like that. I just don't know if Julius has the type of music that I could see like playing in the background of like a movie or a show outside of, a show about him. He was asked if he really liked Alexis or loved Alexis, and he said, yeah, I love Alexis. That's the mother of my child. But the way he acts, everyone thinks with his body language, the fact he never makes eye contact with her, that he really isn't feeling her as much as he really says he is. It seems like he's really not interested or engaged when she's around. And he's like, look, that's just who I am as a person. I'm a nonchalant dude all around. I'm a chill person. When I was in prison, I kind of learned to not say a lot, because I'm not trying to start any drama, and it's best to stay out of people's business. So he tries to continue that in his daily life outside of prison. And he said he kind of feels like that's a thing that the show didn't like about him, because they wanted him to have all these big reactions, like when Alexis caught him with other women in the parking lot. They wanted him to blow up, and they really didn't like his nonchalantness and the fact that he wasn't feeding into the drama. But he said, look, that's just how I am. He said just because he doesn't seem attentive to Alexis on camera doesn't mean he's not like that behind closed doors. And then that's pretty much it. That's all I can think of that he really spoke on. But I did share this comment that someone left on my Facebook. And it was like a meme, like of a dog like laying on a couch, like all sprawled out, relaxing, watching TV, eating snacks. And they're like, yeah, this is Julius waiting for Alexis to come home from work after just chilling on the couch all day. And Alexis actually slid into my DMs and she said, no, that is wrong. She's like, I actually barely have to work anymore because he takes care of everything. But that's it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think about everything in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching.